Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nation's organization's main fan page, right here at Facebook, where I do a daily live stream around the information of a divination card that I would draw in the morning, letting us know what's important for us to know about for today, the energy flow. And so today is Wednesday, January 9th. And it's, I'm looking out the French doors here at the Star Nations Academy, where I do the live streams from. And it looks beautiful out there, sunny skies. And yeah, except when you step outside. It's when I got up this morning, it was 10 degrees. And it's a little breezy out there. It's not as windy as it was yesterday, but it is cold. We're back in winter. I think our high today is 23. Yeah, 23 degrees. So, to step outside, you got to bundle up. That's why I've got the fleece on. It's, you got to dress in layers around here. But it looks beautiful out. It does. So today, I think we're going to start out a little differently today. But before we do that, what I'd like to do is share and like the broadcast before we get started, huh? Hey, Tina, good to have you here. First time first, LOL. It's too funny. All right, thank you, Tina. I'm so glad you're here. It's always good to see you in the chat. So I've got my phone, and I'm going to find our live stream, and I'm going to like it and share it. Oh, yeah, I was going to share something. I can remember to do that. But first of all, I'm going to share the post, share the live stream, and let my friends know that I am live streaming. And asking them to please join me. There we go. You know what? I'm going to put a little icon on there this time. There we go. A little emoticon in there. There, that's done. And it looks like Stephanie is sharing out. You see? Okay, good. Thank you, Stephanie. There she is. Afternoon. Good afternoon. And Rochelle's here too. Hello, Rochelle. She says, howdy, Neshi, feeling better. Going to the doctor's this Friday. Hope to drive in a week or two. Oh, scared of driving. Of course you would be. It's been a few weeks, but you know what? You're going to do just fine. You're just going to be just fine. You're going to get your independence back a little bit. Yeah. So good for you, Rochelle. I'm so glad you're feeling better and getting that range of motion into that shoulder. Yeah, that's good stuff. Marjorie's here, Marjorie Garrett. I will have to watch in between patients working in an animal clinic. Oh, well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate that, Margie, and I appreciate you taking care of the animals too. My furry boy, George. George is at puppy daycare today. And he looks forward to it, to play with other four-leggeds, and they roughhouse. They can really get down and play like they're supposed to play, right? When he plays with us, it's always ouch, 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 ouch. Not so hard, not so much. So he's having a good time. Now, there's a couple new things I wanted to show you. Let's see, here we go. Now, this color, you guys are going to have to let me know what you think about this. I could change the font to white, which would make it probably a little bit better, maybe. But I changed up the color. I was looking, I do probably around 60% of the memes and the promos that you see for Star Nations. And I was looking at the colors for 2019, and Living Coral is the 2019 hot color. And so I was kind of testing it out. I kind of like it. It's kind of a little bit darker shade than the colors of my bathrooms at my house. Yeah, I don't know. You guys will have to let me know if you like it or not. I might try it with white font tomorrow, and we'll see how that looks, okay? Yeah. Let's see. I don't know what that means. Oh, yeah. About the dog, the puppies. Yes, exactly. Although he did, we were playing, not last night, but the night before, and I looked away. I looked up, I was looking, the television was on, and Paul had something else on. And when I looked up and looked away, George is still playing. He's still playing with the stuffed toy that we were playing with. And what he did was he bit down and he kind of scraped, right? And so these two fingers, my middle finger and my ring finger, oh my God, did that hurt? And you know what, George, what a little sweetie. What he was trying to do is he was trying to kiss me. He wanted to jump up and kiss my face, and I'm sorry. And he really did feel, you could see, it's like, I'm sorry. But it really hurt. So we ended up putting ice on it. He didn't break skin or anything like that, but holy cow, practically had me in tears. Owie. But yeah, so he can get a little rough. Yeah, and Rochelle says, I'm going to go through my journals and go through the dates for this day throughout the years and decades and laugh. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're going to say, oh my God, a year I thought I wasn't going to make it, and look what I did. I have full range of motion in my shoulder, and it's the best thing I ever did. Well, maybe not quite that enthusiastic. And let's see, I want to make sure. Scrolling through there. Okay, good. So everybody, welcome. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I got a couple of things I wanted to share with you. I had taken George to puppy daycare earlier this morning, right? And I'm driving back. It was a very much all about family this morning. I did next to like this much Star Nation's work this morning. I had to take George to puppy daycare. Mom had her annual doctor's appointment. And so, I was chauffeur most of the morning. And, but anyway, I was coming back from dropping George off, and I was within our neighborhood. I was probably maybe 3 blocks from my house, about kind of a country measurement, And up in the sky, I see this, the birds are flying, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, that's a pretty big bird. And the closer I got, it was an eagle. And when I got really close to it, it had dropped down to just about treetop level. So I could really tell that it was a mature bald eagle. Could see the white head and the white tail. And he was circling, right? And so, I was talking to him. I said, thank you so much for coming to me. I appreciate it. And I asked if there was a message of any kind. And of course there was. And it was something that my mom taught me a long time ago, is that whenever you see an eagle is to stop and notice what was it that you were thinking about, and what were your feelings around what you were thinking about when you saw the eagle. And so, of course, I did that. It's like second nature. And what I was thinking about was memories were coming most of the morning. Memories of a dream, a vision I had back in 1999. It was the dream that I had received my medicine dress from Spirit. And what the memories that were coming through were about the escort, the guide, that was taking me from place to place in this dream or this vision, right? And remembering him, because I haven't thought about him in a long time. And so I was thinking about that, and then I went from that to the different places that he had taken me, right? And then the final destination that he took me was to receive the dress. And so that's what I was thinking about. And the feelings around it was I was feeling complete, I guess is a good word. It felt good to connect with him again in that memory. But I felt really complete. It felt like, yeah, we really did it, high five kind of stuff. And and like that, kind of like when you see somebody that you haven't seen in a long time, a friend, and you're happy to see them. Yeah, kind of like that. And so that's what I was feeling when I saw the eagle. Uh, yeah, and so and okay, so the reason why I'm even telling you this is because of the card that came today, and also that I wanted to share a little bit about that dream and about the dress that I received. I've told the story publicly a few times, but I've never told it in this live stream, or in any live streams since we started doing live streams. I've kind of mentioned it, it's like when I wore my dress, but I never told the story. And so that's what we're going to do today. And one of the things that Spirit really wanted us to do this afternoon is that they want to make sure that we're grounded. So here's the question, right? How many of those in the live stream have done your grounding today? Okay. Just say I did or no. And it's okay if you didn't. It's all right. It's not, pass or fail kind of thing. Now, I'm just curious, number one. And number two is that if you haven't done your grounding, then we'll want to do something before we actually start talking about the card today. Okay? All right. But if everybody did their grounding, then there's no reason to do it. Okay, so as I wait for your reply, Rochelle says, I'm glad I had it done. That was her shoulder surgery. Thank you for the encouragement, Shalom. Well, of course, we care about you, Rochelle. We really do. Andrea's here. Hey, Andrea, it's good to see you in the house. It's good to have you here. And Stephanie's saying grounded. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Yeah, so the reason why, okay, thank you, Tina. Tina's working on it right now. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, the reason why we want to be grounded today, okay, is because the information that we're going to be talking about around the card, you'll want to be able to take in as many layers and perspectives as possible. Now, of course, the mental mind is going to be right there, front and center, of course, but there's other ways of taking in information that sometimes is pretty subtle, and sometimes you don't even realize you took in the information until maybe hours, days later, and you think, oh yeah, that's right, that's where that came from. Or the information comes back to you in another way, and you think, oh, that's right, I heard that when. So it's going to be layers of understanding, layers of bringing in the information, both the subtle and not so subtle. Okay, yeah. So I just want to make sure that everybody is prepared. Hey, Rochelle, good. Thank you. Let's see. And Tina said that she's working on it. Rochelle says, darn, Tina, I forgot to breathe. Well, I'm sure you were breathing. I'm sure you're breathing. And really, it's all in the intention. No matter what method or technique or one that you put together for yourself, it really isn't all the intention. The intention to be grounded to Grandmother Earth, to be connected to her, to feel her around you and within you, right? Yeah. Okay. So it looks like everybody is grounded. Let me ask this question, okay? Does anybody need help grounding? All right. And then we'll get started. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna check. Make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, good. Excellent. Alrighty. Rats. Rats. Okay. I turned off my phone and didn't mean to. There we go. We're just giving it just a second here so that if anybody needs help to be grounded, that I can give them a hand doing that. Otherwise, we'll get started. Okay, I think we're going to get started then, okay, guys? There we go. There we go. Okay, so today's card that came, and I have to tell you that we usually get multiple cards, right? We usually do. We usually at least have 2, sometimes 3. On a couple occasions, we had like 4 or 5, really wanting us to understand the meaning behind that first card. Today, we only got 1 card. I even asked. He was like, really? We don't need a second card? And it was like, no, this is the card. All right, so let's see. Wait, Tina's asking a question here. She says, Neshi, is it okay if I sent a video I found on Facebook? I think it's important. Thanks. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead and send it. It might take me a little bit to actually see it, Tina, because we're right in the middle of finishing up the Star Nations magazine January issue, and so after this live stream and probably through tomorrow afternoon or even early evening, I will be completely immersed in that, and probably you guys probably won't hear much from me in the next day or so. Okay, so both go ahead and send it to me, but I'm just saying it might take me a little bit to get to it. Okay. All right, so here's the first card. Shaman, the one and only card that we got for today. The one and only card. And we got it. Now, we've gotten this card at least once before, but really look at the detail with this. Let's see, I don't know if I can get it close enough and get it in focus. Above the owl, we have the flower of life in the background. And of course, we have the owl. And if you notice, it's the same kind of owl. Whenever the artist shows an owl, it's the same kind, a barred owl. In the face, Julie Hedges says, it's almost heart-shaped. Yeah, okay. And normally, I mean, there are some of the cards that have the wings tucked, but most of them are spread. Okay, and then we've got the horns. And who was that? Was that Andrea the other day, or was that Tina that said the horns reminded them of spiritual antennas? Yeah, and really, and you're right. It has a lot to do with clairaudience. And then we have, look at, these are bells. I was trying to figure out what those were, but those are bells, both on the horns and across the front of the headdress. And on the headdress, we have the 4 directions just underneath the owl. And look at those eyes. He's wearing eagle feathers on his headdress. 2 larger bells along his temple. Yeah. And the sacred hoop, the wheel, in front of him. On his shoulders, that's horsehair. There's all these cards have so much going on in them, I should say. And in the background, at first I thought those were leaves in the background, but those are feathers. And I do believe she's depicting them as eagle feathers. Yeah, lots going on in this card, isn't it? Rochelle's saying, it's a beautiful, so detailed. It is. It really is. And the shaman, you guys, I've talked about this before, about the word shaman. in itself is not a part of the indigenous language here on Turtle Island. It's not a Native American word in any of our languages. And how do I know this? Is because I researched it a long time ago. The word actually comes from an indigenous people, yes, but it comes from the Sami. The Sami are located in Europe. Okay, they can be found in Norway, Finland. Okay, then go across, and you're in like Estonia, in the lower part of Russia, the northern part of Mongolia. On both sides of the Ural Mountains, they go from ocean to ocean. Okay, they actually helped with the water protection. They're the ones that really petitioned their government and pushing their government to protect the natural areas. Okay, they're also known as the reindeer people. But shaman is in their native language. And in their native language, as it translates to English, and you know how that can happen. Sometimes there's that mistranslation, or there's not a word that means the same thing in English as it does in an indigenous language. So as close as they could get to what it means in English is one who travels in the dark. One who travels in the dark. And that has multiple meanings, okay? It has multiple meanings. Generally, it's about someone who has the ability to enter that trance-like state, and their spirit leaves their physical body and travels to other dimensions, whether it's within this plane of existence or others. Okay. And this is something that's been handed down from generation to generation for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And all indigenous people. Now, when we talk about it in that framework, that means that everyone comes from, their people comes from their own ancestral lands. Your people may not have started out here on Turtle Island. Your people may have been in England or Scotland or Asia or somewhere. Your ancestors, their ancestral lands. That's where you're indigenous to. Okay. So technically, we're all indigenous. We're just might not be indigenous to this particular continent or this particular land, okay? And to be a shaman, a medicine person, a holy person, in our languages here on Turtle Island, the loose translation from an indigenous language here to English translates to holy person, holy man, holy woman, or some is medicine, okay? Medicine man or medicine woman. And not everyone in the tribe, in the clan, in the nation is a shaman. It's a gift that's given to an individual from spirit. It doesn't come from especially in modern times, okay? Doesn't come from reading a book and saying, that's what I want to be. Now, the book may have come to you because of a dream that you had or an experience that you had. It's called the Little Death. That's a possibility. But generally speaking, it's not, not everyone is a practicing medicine person or holy person. Does that make sense? That doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to journey, to travel. It just means that you may not have the blessing from the Creator. I think that's the closest I can come to it, to do that kind of help to someone else. In other words, you have what it takes to do your own things, your own healing, but maybe not to be able to hold the kind of energy, the kind of medicine that you need to hold in order to be able to help someone else. Okay. I know that's kind of a touchy subject sometimes. It's kind of a touchy subject. But the reason why I wanted to say that is because this particular card, on what Kyle, how he describes this is that he says your inner shaman. So in other words, that we all have the capabilities of it. Yes, I agree. But we may not all have the ability to hold the kind of energy, the kind of medicine to be able to effectively and in a good way help someone else. Sometimes because you either haven't been trained or you don't have the ability to hold that kind of energy, you're actually more of a, I was going to say detriment. That's kind of a harsh word, though. You may not mean to do harm. Okay? You may not mean it at all. But because you're not able to hold the kind of energy that's needed, you're actually doing harm, both to yourself and to the person that you're helping. Yeah. I'm listening to what they're saying. They're saying that even with training, it's possible that for certain things that you would be able to help with, but for really serious things, there's the combination of natural gift ability and training. When you combine the two, that you have the ability to hold a really big energy. Okay. And sometimes that kind of ability is necessary to help someone else. Yeah. Okay. So, and they're talking about not just life and death situations, but because that's the physical body, and that's pretty important, don't you think? But it also is when you're dealing with entities that are pretty nasty, You don't mean to go into the situation that's going to cause you harm. But if you go into the situation and you're not prepared for it, some of those entities, they want to take your soul. They want to take a part of you, and you don't. If you're not prepared for it, you could be doing yourself more harm than good. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to let you know that that if you feel and in your heart that you have been given the gift to be of service in that way, is also to get the training, okay? And so that you can go out and you can shine your light. You can be as helpful as you possibly can be. It's a life that is very fulfilling, but it also is a life of self-discipline and there's a certain amount of humility that goes along with it too, being humble. That if your ego is out of balance, yeah, you're in for a rocky road, a rocky path. It doesn't mean that you can't do it, but holy smokes, it makes it so much harder. Yeah. I just want to kind of skip back here and see if there's Hey, Julie's here. Hi, Julie. Good to have you here. And Violet's here. Hi, Violet. And Tina says, the top to me is a spider web, which to me is a universal energy web. Owl is clearly clear seeing, wisdom and knowledge, and of course, the spirit antennas. Oops, is there more? I don't know. Yeah. Well, when I first looked at it, seeing the overlapping, it reminds me of the flower of life. But when you look at it, you could say that it actually kind of looks like a dream catcher too, which would lend to what Tina is saying about the spider web, the webbing. Yeah, I don't know if I can get the camera to focus. Yeah, it does kind of look like a dream catcher, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah, that creation thing, huh? All right, so what Kyle says about this is that he says, trust in your angels, guides, and ancestors. If you if you have given your power away, claim it back. Claim it back. And many times, what the holy person or shaman is doing is when they're in service to someone else or even to themselves, is that the weakness that may be caused in a person's life is through soul loss or soul fracture. And so, through some sort of traumatic event, whether it's like in a childhood event or an adult event, it doesn't make any difference. And many times the event is so shocking, literally, that the soul is shocked, right? And you are a part of you stays in that moment, and so the holy person or the shaman is able to travel to that time in that place to retrieve that part of you that you left behind. Okay. And depending on the circumstances around it, it's a possibility that that through that soul loss, that part of you needs rescuing, really, from energies or entities that live off from our energy, okay, from our life. And so when Kyle writes about if you've given your power away, now that has many meanings to it. And so right now we're talking about how sometimes when you're feeling like, I've done everything, I don't know what more I can do, I've tried, and you list the litany of things that you've tried to feel better, to have more energy, to because you know that something's not right, and you've tried everything. And sometimes the soul retrieval, that's what it's called, the soul retrieval, is helpful to bring that part of you back so you feel more whole, so that when you do other healing methods or talk therapy, that there's more of you present and that you can actually heal that aspect of what happened. Okay. And so you can combine soul retrieval with another method of healing. Rochelle is saying that is interesting. And Tina's saying Native men go on a vision quest to be chosen, or it's in the lineage. Now, I think it depends, Tina, on the nation and even the clan, because we don't all do it the same. And in my culture, it's both men and women. It's just not men. And so I think it depends on the culture of the nation. Yeah. But in your nation, it sounds like that it's mostly men who are the holy people. And Tina's saying the bells could mean listening to spirit. Absolutely. Clairaudient. And also, if you notice, on regalia, on dance regalia, that many times there's bells that are on the regalia, and that is to announce your coming, that you're there, and that in a way, kind of clearing the path, clearing the area, because that's some lower vibrational energies don't like that sound, and so you're kind of clearing the path for that. At least that's what I was taught. Tina's saying that that was done to me. I understand now the soul retrieval part. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And Tina's saying you're explaining it perfectly. Oh, thank you, Tina. I'm doing my best. I'm listening. I'm listening to what they want me to, how they want me to present it. So, Rochelle said, I would like to experience a sweat lodge. Well, there's always that opportunity, Yeah, sweat lodges, I like them. I do. You have to be very discerning about who's doing the pouring. You want to know who's pouring and how much experience they have. But it's good. It's good to sweat out not just the toxins from your body, but it's a very spiritual experience. It's been my experience anyway. Mm-hmm. And Tina's saying I should have mentioned women too. Oh, good. That's good. It's always good to hear. Yeah, and many times it's in the lineage because we carry that memory in our blood, in our bones. That's why it kind of stays in lineages. But sometimes, because we have a choice. We have a choice. Sometimes when you have the gift from the Creator, and then you also have a family member who's willing to train you, sometimes you choose differently. You choose a different path. Doesn't mean that you don't use your gifts. You might not use it in the way that a holy person would be using it, because some people find the lifestyle too constricting. That's a good word. Some people want to be more a part of the mainstream than not. Okay. Yeah. Because we still have free will. Ceranos, good sermon. Thank you, Ceranos. Yeah, I'm just relaying a message here. And they want me to also to share about my dress. And so it's 2:38. We have to do that pretty dang soon. All right. So I say that there was something here. Oh, if this card comes to you, it's because you need to do some release work with lower energies or with your lack of trust in the spiritual energies that are guiding you. I have to say that if you are selecting to embrace your gift and to walk this path, that your trust and your belief in your spiritual helpers is pretty darn close to 100%, if not 99.98. Usually what happens is that because we're two-legged and we're humans, that, sometimes we say, I don't know, I don't want to do it that way. And then we do it whatever way our mind wants to do it. And we end up backtracking to correct what we just did because we didn't trust their guidance. It's kind of like using your GPS in your car. Did you ever do that? They're telling you to turn left and you're going, oh no, I don't want to go that way. I want to go up and then take a left. And you end up, if you had listened to the GPS system, you wouldn't have gotten lost, or it wouldn't have taken you as long, right? Same thing. They're spiritual allies working in your favor, and their miracles will unfold much more easily when you move into a state of trust. So call back your power and stop allowing external forces to divert you from the miracles you deserve. Hand over all of your concerns to your spiritual allies. When you do so, you allow them to send you intuitive guidance and messages that will allow you to correct the situation and come out on top. The Shaman card also shows that you have shamanic potential to move between the realms and connect with your guides in an extremely personal way. Yeah. See, and I really do believe that every single one of us have a connection to spirit, and that we have the ability to have intuition, to use our intuition, right? Yeah. And that we all have come in with our unique gifts. And when we use our unique gifts, we're shining our light. That's our soul work, right? There's some who have come in with the gift to do that kind of journey work between dimensions, in other dimensions, and are able to hold that kind of energy to be able to help someone else. And I'm going to say it again, not everybody has that gift to do that. And I'm going to say it again, is that, everybody relates it to Native American indigenous people, and it's true. But we're all indigenous to somewhere. And so if you feel like this is something that you have been given the gift to do, my suggestion is to do your research in who your indigenous ancestors were, because that is what's flowing in you. And there's a lot of commonalities. There's certain things that from groups of indigenous people across the world that we have certain things in common, yes. But you want to draw on your ancestors' wisdom. And so in order to do that, you have to get to know them. Who were your people? There's something that Native Americans is common across, is that when you see another Native American, you don't know them, and you go to introduce yourself and to talk a little bit, usually somewhere in the conversation is the question, who are your people? And if you're a traditionalist, you're going to start saying, who your grandparents were, who your parents are, and what your native name is, and what your clan is, and and so you go through the whole litany of the relationship. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tina says, my husband calls me a holy woman because of a dream he had. I am too humble. Don't acknowledge that. Well, I understand that. But Tina, I have to share that at some point, I would encourage you to acknowledge it, even if it's to your very inner circle, to that really small group of people who you trust 100%. You trust them. And the reason why is because, there's one thing, is that we have to look at our individual definition of humble. Okay. Humble doesn't, to me, this is just mine, okay? Humble to me doesn't mean that we ignore, deny. Those aren't the right words. They're saying that's not right. Okay, so that you diminish it. Okay, and I'm not saying that that you should go out there and announce to the world that this is what I am. No, it's to a very select few people, so that you have a support system. It's not meant to be a lonely life. No. Yeah. And it helps you step into your gift. It helps you to step into it. They want me to share something. What time is this? Oh gosh, okay, 15 minutes. Here, we're gonna say Violet. Violet, sweat lodges always feel like home to me and very cleansing. Well, that's good. You know what I like about it is I do like the heat, and the darkness and the connection to spirit. And I love the songs. The songs. I love the songs. Andrea says, for me, it would be the Celt ancestors. Yeah. And then which Celts? Which Celts? What part of that area were your indigenous people from? You know, listen to Amantha Murphy. If it's Irish, listen to Amantha Murphy's. We're gonna, maybe what we can do is get the links to the interviews that I've done with her. She talks about George here. He's here with us, even when he's not. Yeah, she talks about the difference between the Celtic people and the Old Irish. Okay, and so that's why I say that, you know, if you have that in your blood, is to know that, and so that when you draw on that ancestry, that you're really stepping into that gift, into that power. Okay, so here is what the reason why I saw the eagle this morning. Okay, and so when I was asking the eagle about the message, you know, if he had a message for me, and he said yes. He said the reason why you were reminiscing, thinking about that vision you received and the dress, and especially the escort, the guide that was there, is that it's time. It's time to share about your dress, your medicine again. It's time. It's like, okay. Because I haven't danced in my dress this will be the 4th year. I'm going to get verklempt for a lot of different reasons, but the one of the reasons is because you know, going through that dark night of the soul, you tend to even question. You question about, am I doing the right thing? Am I still worthy of? Because I certainly didn't feel like it. And so you set those things aside, you know, and truly, you know, coming out from the other side of that, it changed me. And so there it is again, you know, is this still my path? Is this still something that I'm supposed to be doing? And listening to the guidance. And so today I got the green light, if you will, about the medicine dress. And so what they wanted me to share with you is that it's something that Tina touched on, actually. And that is, I received that dream in 1999. And it took me almost 5 years to bring that dress into the physical world. And because it was, I couldn't believe that I would actually be given that. Who am I to receive something like that? You know, and I sat with it for a really long time. And I would give tobacco about it, and I would meditate on it. I prayed about it. And it was really about, I was so concerned, I mean, overly concerned that my ego would take something that is about peace and love and harmony and healing and turn it into something that it wasn't meant to be. So I had to work through that. And I remember one reader that I was talking to about it, because they kept saying, "Well, I see you in yellow. Why am I seeing you in yellow?" And it was about the dream. It was about the dress. And so I was telling her about why I hadn't done anything with it. And she said, and she goes, in spirit saying that that's something that you would never do, obviously, because look how long it's taken you to even claim it. Oh my God. All right. So I made the decision I was going to make the dress, and I asked for help. My mother-in-law, who was a master seamstress, made the fabric part of the dress. And I was following the instructions from my spiritual guides about the construction and what to use and how to place them on the dress. And so I have 370 cowrie shells on the dress. And so each one of those has a certain prayer that went with it. And so even after I made the dress, I sat with it for a while and didn't use it. And the first time I had the dress, and I actually danced for a group of people because I was instructed to do so by my spiritual team, and explain about it. I had 3 Ho-Chunk women in the back row of the class. Oh my gosh. Yeah. 2 of which were very judgmental and rapid fire questions about it. And so it was almost like defending and deflecting all at the same time. And it got to the point where my team was just saying, tell them that if you return a gift from spirit, what does that mean to them in their world? And so I repeated it, and that kind of stopped the questions. I said, because technically, I said, you know what, this is a responsibility that I weighed for a really long time, back and forth, and it wouldn't leave me alone. Dreams everywhere I went. It was something about the dress, and I said, and so finally I said, okay, all right, I'll do it. And I have to admit, Tina, that it was a lot about, who am I to have this? Why would I be selected? I know the responsibility. I watched members of my family, my grandfather, my grandmother, and what they went through. And so why would I do that? Why would I put a huge bullseye on my back or on my front for people to attack me? Why would I do that? And so that's why it took me so long. And when you say that, you're humble about it, and I appreciate that. I really do, because I understand. And here I am talking in public about this. But this is what I was asked to do this morning. That's why the eagle came to me, because it's time, and it's time to take the dress back out. And so this is me sharing with my community. I will never advertise that, oh, Neshi's going to use her dress. I've never done that. But I do have pictures of me in my dress. And I do allow people to video or to photograph when I dance in it, which is a lot of times a lot of Native people will say that's a big no-no. They shouldn't be doing that. And I agree. There's many ceremonies that they should not be doing that in, but there's certain ones that I've done that I got instructions that it was okay for them to take pictures with me. or of the dance. So, as I take a deep breath, this is a difficult conversation for me. Um, because like Tina, it's like I'm putting it out there in a way that I've had to reevaluate my belief systems throughout this whole thing. From the beginning, from the very, very beginning back in 1999 to the present. Because it does stretch me uncomfortably in some of my beliefs, native beliefs. But it's a good stretch. It's a soul growth. And so the message from the eagle this morning was to share this part. And I didn't know why. Honestly, I didn't know why until Tina, thank you very much for saying that about being humble, because there's a part of the humbleness that is so true. But to be able to find a way that fits you to claim your gift, to embrace it, so that you can shine as brightly as you possibly can, because you're meant to have this gift and to share it with those people that you're meant to help. And if you hide it, it's going to be harder for them to find you. Yeah. So there you have it. Oh my gosh. I'm so far behind in the. Okay, let's see. All right, so Julie's saying my people are from Scotland, Ireland, and Britain. Okay, so you have a good base of written information, and you might want to connect up with Mervyn Kelly about some of that historical stuff, and so that you have somebody at least pointing you in a direction with resources to check that out. But more importantly is to connect with your spiritual team and ask them for help to bring you the information that's important for you to know about your ancestors and about the gifts that you bring with their wisdom in your lineage. Okay? Yeah, I think that's important. All right. Oh, yay. Stephanie, you're so on it. I am so grateful for you. She's listed Amantha Murphy's interviews that we've done. I've done a few. Andrea says, such great information, Jay. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, Andrea. And I know, Tina. Yeah, it's like, why me? I know. And for me, Tina, a lot of it had to do with the responsibility and knowing that when certain people, certain entities know that you have embraced and picked up that gift, that in the old days, they would really try to squash that because they don't want that kind of vibration to be here and helpful. That was in the old days. In the old days, I'm talking about the 1990s and the 2000s in my generation. In my grandparents' generation, it was their entire life. And Stephanie is saying, thank you, sounds like my drum. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I should say that. Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, I have it. There's pictures out there of me in it. I'll share one with you guys tomorrow. Okay. Tina says, it feels like I'm suppressing the gift. Don't mean to. I just got to chill that what you're saying about the dress is truth. Well, it's something that you certainly need to discern for yourself, Tina. I'm not telling you to do one thing or the other. I'm just sharing with you my experience. And I know that when you wrote the comment about being humble, that went right to my heart and knew that this is it. This is the reason why I had to share what I'm sharing today. This life that we've chosen, this path that we've chosen to do, isn't meant to be lonely. Is not meant to be ostracized. It's not meant to be difficult. We make it that way. We make it that way. And so you're not going to be walking that path alone. There's many of us walking that path, many. And so anytime, Tina, you want to ask me something or share something with me, I'm more than happy to be there for you. Julia's saying, I'm checking out some of the books Mervyn recommended yesterday. Always had interest in the Celts and the Druids. Yeah, I know. I know. And I'm so glad that you've made the decision to do some of your own research and diving into your blood and your bones. How's that? That's a good name for a book, isn't it? All right. I know I'm past the time by 1 minute. I want to thank you guys for being here and with me this afternoon. Yeah, this is a part of why I so enjoy and appreciate you guys in Star Nation's community. I really do. Because this isn't something that I would share with just anybody. And I know that this is a public live stream, and I know that others will be listening to it, and that's okay. That's all right. But I look at who's in the live chat, and I'm thinking this is really the core group, and so I appreciate it. I really do, and we're here for each other. We're that meme. I keep going back to that one meme that talks about, it shows two children, or is it adult and a little boy? Anyway, two people walking on a path, and it's like we're really only walking each other home, right? And in a way, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, and we're here to support each other, and to have a joyful life, and know that there's somebody out there that gets me. I don't have to explain every nuance of me in order for somebody to get me, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. Tonight is Polly Joe's show, Soul Connections, at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, listen, it is one place that I know on a weekly basis that we can go to work on our own personal care, our own healing. All right. So you come in with your own intention of what you want to heal or release. Bring your spiritual team, make sure, and you guys are going to work together with Polly Joe and her team. And they help us to be able to heal and release what's most important for us to do. And so, and we get that opportunity every week. And I take advantage of it, that's for sure. And also there's the card reads, right? And that's always spot on, I would say. Very, it's a powerful evening, that's for sure. And I forgot to say that whatever we talked about today through the cards, through this card, this is what started, is whatever resonated with you, what felt good to you, is to please embrace it and pick it up. And if it's your gifts, pick it up and shine your light through it. That's what it's meant for. And if today's stuff didn't resonate with you, that's okay. Don't worry about it. It wasn't meant for you. And maybe you can just share the link with somebody that you think it would be helpful to. Okay. Yeah. And what's interesting is that we get to talk about this kind of stuff here at Star Nations. Yeah. That's really good. Really good stuff. So enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for tomorrow's live stream and chat about the divination card that was drawn that morning. Okay. So thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bama Mina, until we see each other again. Love you guys.